the Survivor series, like Gun Edition. It's the Sinden soldiers versus the GUN4IR road.
Right, hello, software comparison time. Let's get to GUN4IR. So, don't go to the gun software in the build. It's going to open up. When you download the build and you double click it, it's going to say you don't have the license. I'll put something down in the link in the description so you can support JB and get the license. Pretty much you use it 2 or 3 times at the most in your lifetime. You'll never see it again. Once it's set, it's set. Okay, so the first thing you'll end up doing is getting the LEDs on the screen. So I roughly put them where I thought each area was. Then I come into the test screen. With the test screen, you're there, you can do your gun, etc. You can see where you are. You need 1 LED here, 1 LED there, 1 LED there, and 1 LED there. And there you go. So Sinden, you got a border, these you got LEDs. Border's always there. The LEDs, I literally have them in plastic little hinges, and I just fold them behind the TV so when not in use you can't see them. All that, so that's all good, isn't it? So yeah, and okay, so after that you move your LEDs to the right place. I'll show you the camera test, so we can start testing. So with this, basically, as long as you see 3 of those dots, it's gonna work. As you can see, I'm going right to the edge of the screen, everywhere, and you're still seeing 3 dots. Comparison to the Sinden, you literally have to see all 4 corners of the screen for it to work as it should. I mean, you can probably lose one, but it's not going to be right. As you can see, as you're pressing the buttons, that'll be my trigger, A button and B button. If I had a joypad set, if I had a thumbstick on here, or a crosspad or whatever you want to call it, extra buttons, they would all show up there. And you have a calibration button, which you can do out of the software as well. Okay, so I'll stop that one. Okay, so the inputs and outputs, what we're talking about. Left, right, middle mouse, that's what's most important. You've got that, you can play the games. 501 is cast coins and start in Mame. And fair enough, everything I can get to on here is that as well, so you can use the extra buttons if you have that. Leave that as mouse and keyboard. Reload, use the reload button, so the extra button on your controller. Auto reload, disable that, don't mess about, can't enable it, don't want to do that, it's cheating. Off screen reload, I just left it shot in the corner. Yeah, use reload button. Okay, so that's that. So again, with the software, you've got your recoil, full auto recoil, you can get the temperature from it, etc. You've got the rumble, so you can have rumble motor, which is normally from an Xbox 360 controller. You can mod that and put it inside. So test it again. So you've actually got your LEDs, red, green and blue, RGB. You can set them up, I've seen it before. Trigger old time before full auto. 400 milliseconds. First test. So full auto, disabled, always on. So that's that. Okay. So do that. So yeah, screen. So that. So I always see this on custom balance on everyone's builds. If you have issues, you can always change that and then just going back into the camera test, see if it goes okay. But custom balance always seems to be right for everybody. You can do some adjustments here. I never really have. I changed this to the full screen contact aspect ratio, which is 1.7, 16.9. You can set it to 4.3, custom undefined, etc. The games that are running the native resolution of 4x3, older arcade games, etc. It wants to use raw input and some don't, so your aim might go off on that, but Later on I'll show you how to, in fact I'll put a link in the description now, how you to make serial commands and place it in the start before game within Launchbox, so it just changes the aspect ratio for you. Alright, so really you don't have to mess about. You can go into tools and flash the firmware, and all that will do, it'll literally set one gun to player 1 and one gun to player 2. Don't really need to do that if you don't want to, because within Demo Shooter you just set each gun to what it's going to be, and that's it. But if you wanted to, you got an arcade, you want to set it to player 1, you want to set it to player 2, that's what you do there. So you put your LEDs on the screen, you've done your camera test and all this. This just takes minutes, mate. Minutes, guys. And you just go to start calibration. Yeah, I want to do it with one path because I've always done it and it's that good. So just shoot at the center with it. Shoot again. Shoot again. Shoot again. Shoot again. Right. Shoot the screen. Now that is spot on. Perfect. Okay. Let's get it back up. Right. You can upload settings, so it uploads it to the gun, etc. Don't need to because you can see it was all perfect before. But if you make any other changes, you'll upload settings. So I'll just cross that off right now. And literally, you'll never need to put that software on ever again if you don't want to. Everything is stored in the gun. So that software doesn't need to be used at all. Whenever you turn your PC on, you pull the gun in, out, shake it all about. This calibration will always be set. Never have to set it. Never have to worry about anything. No software running in the background, no nothing. Like I say, it's all in the gun. So there's not much about GUN4IR out there. It's not readily available. It's not mass produced. And the people that are using it, obviously there's no issues. You don't have to worry about it. Once it's set, it's set. Alright, I don't want to go too deep into it because obviously this is just a software comparison, but I do ramble on a bit. Yeah, so in a minute you're going to get onto the Sinden part. I did do that first, but I sounded like so boring it was untrue, I tell you. I sounded as if I were dying. That was probably silly o'clock in the morning again. I'm always doing this stuff at silly o'clock in the morning. So anyway, the Sinden part's coming up now. I did that first, this is what I'm doing next, all that blah blah blah. So the next video that will come out will basically be pros and cons of these two softwares. But you basically can see how you're going to set it up, etc., and how it works. But yeah, short video next time. Sorry about the length between time before bloody uploads. Well, there's no way I'm going to be a YouTube millionaire, is there, with my sort of things that I do. So yeah, be patient, crack on, enjoy the build. I'll put all the links in the description, what you need, what you want and all that. Go through, have a look at my other videos. Enjoy yourself, take care, God bless, have a wonderful, amazing day, night, evening, wherever you are. Light gun lunatic, light gun maniacs, light gun legends. You're all amazing. Crack on, enjoy yourself with your plastic guns. Readily available, most people have got this. So we tick the box, we take you through all the tabs to set it up. So we go to select light gun. This could be called anything from black, blue, red, 2-player, 1-player. Mine was on 2-player, but I selected black there. And I just put update selected light gun firmware, which changed the name for me. So we select the gun, everything's fine. Go to configuration. Now I'll just show you in this configuration here. As you can see, that's what it's actually showing on the left, and on the right it's more process what the camera sees. So back right button will put us border on, and as you can see there. And if I go to the edge there, you can't see the left hand side. If I was basically another 2 or 3 foot back, I would be fine, but I don't have the room with my 86-inch TV. So
stop talking about GUN4IR! They'll get their turn, won't they? This is Sinden time. One-eye shooter.
And yeah, I can use the GUN original, which is my favourite gun for GUN4IR. But anyway, let's stop talking about that. So, yep, everything's fine there. This is self-explanatory. If you want to auto start the Sinden light gun on load, you can do, and then that'll minimise it to the system tray. So I suggest you tick 2 of those boxes.
God, he sounds miserable.
Go to border. If it's not reading it, you can enable the outer border, which will basically put a black border around the white one there. You can make it smaller and bigger. So I'm just going to take that off for mine. So whatever you're doing here, save settings while you're here.
You need the other lead.
Go to alignment. Okay. Okay, that mine's pretty much spot on there. Because I've set my screen size already to 86. But what you would do if it wasn't, if it was about an inch to the right or inch to the left, you'd literally go there and click on this. That will change this here. Mine was okay, so I'm just going to put it back and we're fine. So we're going to go to save alignment changes again, save on everything we can. Cursor offset, this is the most important thing. You just want to put the size of your TV in there. Everything else are left as default. Button assignments, leave everything else as default. You've got the front right, which is the one obviously in front of your border. If you're pointing the gun, it's like the start button. If you're pointing the gun away, it's like the coin button. So, just need those settings. You can change them if you want, but yeah. Okay, this is for recoil. I don't have recoil on my guns, but you can make changes in there, self-explanatory. Pedal, right. This is the most important thing about using the Sinden, the best thing. So literally you can go in here and set up 2, and then you can do your pedal functions. You've got to connect them up first of all. I have got a Sinden pedal, but not got into that. And you'll save your pedal settings here. Because you can go down to your pedal and your button confinements, and you can set it to mouse right. So automatically it will reload on every single game with the pedal, and then obviously games with the duck and hide feature that will be set up because all emulators have GUN as a mouse, and it's mouse right. That is always your reload or your cover mechanic. So I've got there, pedal, about, version 1.8, which is the most up-to-date stable version. So the reason I actually put the pedal software in the build itself is because with GUN4IR, and you can use the pedal on any gun. But with the GUN4IR you can't choose mouse right. You'll have to choose on your keyboard, and I have chosen left on mine. You can set it up to anything else, but that's that. So now we go back to configuration. Again, we're happy with all this. You see this is showing 26 and 25 frames per second, so we want to turn this off. I want to get rid of that. I untick sleep mode because I don't see the point. I'll save those settings now. You should literally be able to just shoot your gun again and it'll come out and come back, but I'm just going to stop it for a second. Start it again. Right. So now I'll untick sleep mode and save settings. You left it on side, you just want to go and get a bite to eat or something like that. It might take a little bit longer. You just want to come back and start playing, don't you? So we're going to burn to the light gun. Now we've saved all the settings. So people talk about the Sinden being portable, you can take it to your mate's house. So with this build, you'll literally click on this again, and you'll say read from light gun. If everything's set up on his TV, that's perfect. But I would suggest that you go back to curves are offset. That's the one. And put the size of his TV in. So once you've done all that, we're all good. So you got to do that for player 1 and player 2. And, this software must be running at all times, player 1 and player 2. If the software fails, the gun fails. Alright, so I'll stop that, get rid of that, I'll come back to you.